He folds the best hand.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah! Germans are loving it. Well, the action has been folded to Daniel Negreanu. So let's play this from his perspective, Joe. Let's sweat with Daniel.
All right, well, it's Justin Bonomo's big blind, so can we not raise him?
Jack 8 of spades in the small.
Okay.
Daniel raises to 75,000.
Great.
Bonomo calls. The flop gives Daniel a flush draw, plus a backdoor straight draw, plus he has 2 overs to the board. What's not to like?
All in. Sorry, wait a few seconds, and then all in.
Alternatively, C-bet for 45K.
I'm hoping Justin raises, so we can go all in. Ooh, he might actually raise. By the way, I'm not saying that's the right approach. I just don't want to play against Justin Bonomo.
Bonomo has raised to 175,000.
So my guess is that Daniel probably won't want to play for all of it. He's a little too deep, and he's actually blocking some of the bluffs Justin can have here.
A call from Negreanu. This hand going to the turn. 515K in the middle already. 7 of clubs pairs the board.
That is a very bad card for us.
Daniel checks.
We'd very much like a free river.
Justin checks behind. So Daniel pairs his jack on the river.
It's a pretty good card for us. And I think we can bet this. Very unlikely we're going to get raised.
That's 180,000. Uh-oh.
Aw, come on!
That's $1 million. Justin Bonomo has just raised to $1 million.
There's only a couple of things he can have. A turn full house.
That's 6-7.
Yes, that.
6-7.
He could have a flush, but he probably would have bet the turn.
6-7 of hearts. So 6-7 hearts. That's one hand. What else? Clubs.
This is going to be a full house or a bluff.
Six, 7 of hearts. Pocket deuces. All right, pocket deuces.
Daniel's played a time bank card, buying himself an extra 30 seconds thinking time.
There really aren't a lot of full houses he can have. I knew we should have moved in. I said it.
You also said Justin Bonomo wouldn't raise.
But I said the other thing first.
Whatever.
I fold.
Negreanu lets it go. What did Bonomo have? King, queen. It was a bluff. Ah! Action has been folded to Shawn Buchanan in the small blind with ace-7. He completes. Aldemir has pocket 3s in the big blind.
He's raising.
Yeah, 375,000.
Not sure I love a raise. When Shawn limps in the small blind, he's almost always going to call. And then you're making the pot bigger when you're only ever really going to be flipping at best.
Well, there's the call from the chip leader. The flop is ace, king, 8. Top pair for Buchanan. Checks to Aldemir.
Not good news for Aldemir. I think he's going to feel compelled to continue.
270.
Yep, fires 270,000. Buchanan calls. The turn card is the jack of clubs, this board just getting worse and worse for Aldemir. Bucky checks a second time.
Oh man, is Aldemir really going to blast off here with threes?
Loading up a second barrel. Just over $1 million.
I'm going to go ahead and call this the Kanye West because it's aggressive and unnecessary.
We can see that Buchanan is a 95% favorite. He makes the call. $3.5 million in the middle. Aldemir has 3.9 behind. The river card is the 7 of hearts. That's 2 pair for Bucky.
There goes any chance of Bucky folding.
He checks a third time. Aldemir going to wave the white flag of surrender.
He's got to know his threes are no good here at Showdown.
Wow, he shoves a huge bluff. And Shawn doesn't like it.
How much is it?
He's actually given this a think. Shawn's beating King Jack. He's beating Ace Queen, Ace 10. Lots of draws missed. I said Shawn was never folding, but I guess it's obviously not never. Just did not expect this at all when he improved on the river.
Well, however this plays out, you've got to give respect to Corey Aldemir for having the guts to make this move.
Is it gonna hurt if I'm wrong, Corey? You look nervous as too.
He does.
He folds the best hand.
O-M goodness.
Be a hero, that's it. Do the 10 jack.
The Germans are loving it. He raises to 3,000. Gets a fold from Gaelle in the small blind. Russell Carson is in the big blind with 5-4. And he's playing it aggressively. Re-raises with a 3-bet to 11,500.
Not so sure about a 3-bet there. Feels pretty random. I think I prefer calling or folding.
Jalfe's got a decent stack, has the advantage of position.
And he knows how to play to pokers.
He calls, and these two will see a flop.
So far, this isn't going the way Carson wanted.
It's still not going his way. Trip 10s for Jalfe.
Yeah, boy.
No C-bet from Carson.
I like the check. Jonathan is going to have a lot of hands here that won't fold to 1-bet.
Jalfe checks behind. Turn card. Ace of clubs.
It's actually a really bad card for Carson because he's pretty much got to try to rep this.
He is officially drawing dead. And here comes the delayed continuation bet. 7,400.
One would hope that when he gets called or raised here, he shuts it down.
Just a call from Jonathan Jalfe. 40K in the middle as we go to the river, which is the jack of clubs, giving Jalfe a straight. It is a straighty, flushy paired board. And Carson is going to take a stab at this. Bet's reasonably big, 28,000.
The unfortunate thing for Carson here is he's repping very little. It's basically a boat or nothing. And there aren't a lot of boats. What?
Jonathan Jalfe folds the best hand. He folded the straight.
Wow, Carson with an image tighter than a nun's bookshelf. Bibles take up a lot of space.
A surprising laydown there. Ivan Luca opens under the gun +1, raises with 9s. Negreanu with deuces.
Daniel likes to play.
He calls the raise of 30,000. Carry Katz, folds. Chidwick's out. Bryn Kenny folds the small blind. Mustafa Kanat in the big, gets out of the way. So the two chip leaders go heads up to the flop.
What do you think Daniel's thinking about?
6-5-3.
Now, Daniel does not have a set, but this is a flop he can convince himself his deuces are good on.
28,000.
Ivan Luca makes a continuation bet.
It's a very small continuation bet. Small C-bets are in right now, but it does make it very easy for your opponent to float you.
Remember, this event is playing with a shot clock. Every player has 30 seconds per decision. Daniel decides to raise, makes it 95,000.
Now, this isn't going to get many better hands to fold, but he can fold out hands that have decent equity, like 2 overcards.
Well, he's going to get called by Luca with his overpair.
The raise by Daniel might also just buy him a cheap showdown.
3 of spades on the turn, pairing the board. Luca now an 86% favorite. He checks. Negreanu checks behind. An 8 on the river. Luca still ahead with 9s.
Check.
That looks like a check to induce to me. Pretty sure Luca's confident he's got the best hand.
284,000 in the pot. Daniel bets ridiculously big, 400K.
Wow.
And Luca folds.
That was not the bet he was trying to induce. Daniel's reputation earns him a win there. Bluffs like that from him are few and far between.